Hello, everyone. Good evening, good day, or good morning, wherever you are in this world. Welcome to what is going to be what I can only call an experiment. It might be just me sitting here rambling away, and but hopefully not. Hopefully, we can have some great conversation. It's Dad Man Walking 55 here with you now. I'm on here where we are on the East Coast, a wonderful Saturday evening. Having a relaxing time waiting to see how the weekend ends and then eventually going back to work tomorrow. Ugh, everybody's favorite topic, going back to work. So I promise you, that will be one topic that will not come up tonight is work. We will reserve that for tomorrow when it will inevitably get here. For some of you, it may already be here. And hats off to you night shift workers too. I know a lot of you get forgotten with store hours, family events, and all kinds of other stuff because it's hard to be on a different schedule than a lot of the other people that you're around. I remember when Mrs. Worked still, and she had an overnight shift. It was went to just after midnight. It was still challenging, like ships passing in the night. Just not just oh hey Wade, thank you Wade, you gave me the hint. Let me turn that emote only off over there. So hey Wade, thanks for being here. How are you tonight? Appreciate you being here. Let's see, I'm gonna get over there real quick and we'll get it to emote only off. Hey, I had the joys of doing multiple things at one time, so hope you're doing well, Wade, tonight. Good to see you. I'll take care of that, and there. It's off. So now you can leave comments, Wade. Hey, welcome. Yeah, Wade, I'm kind of doing this tonight on my own. The missus is getting to just sit and back and relax and enjoy this. So, hopefully we'll find this experiment a little bit fun tonight. The purpose of it is to just chat and talk about things. We can talk some football. We can talk some hockey. We can talk some pro football. I'll pull stuff up and look at it. And if not, we can talk about almost anything else anybody wants to talk about except for politics and religion. So we're going to keep things fun and work. We can't do work, huh? And Wade, good for you. Hey, well, let me say hi again to you, Wade. And hi to the lovely Mrs. Dadman Walking 55. And let's say, Wade, good job on the nap. And congrats on getting your dailies too, dude. Absolutely. And welcome, Geeky. Hello, Dadman family. Well, hello, Geeky. Always great to see you. That's okay, Wade. You got by here. So if there's something you want to chat about, put it out there, and we'll try to deal with it soon in the show. And yes, no worky. Exactly. Oh, Wade, no soccer. Hey, Wade, man, we got the World Cup going on. What do you mean no soccer? It'd be the only time we could ever talk soccer, is when the World Cup's on. Actually, are they coming to the finals? Let me see something real quick. And this is why I'm going to be a little spread out tonight. I'm going to be looking at things. So let's just take some time and relax a bit with things. Oh, wow. Looks like the Cowboys had a struggle with the Texans today. Well, hey, as long as you win, I guess that's the thing. Do we have any Cowboy fans out there? So let's see. Let me see. I guess they're at the semifinals. Or is it the final? Let me see real quick. We'll do this. So, yeah, I've watched a little bit when I've gone to lunch where they have it. Some Croatians own a pizza place, and they've been watching it at lunch. So, Tuesday we got – thank you, Wade. You took us into our first topic tonight. But let me talk to oh, great. Geeky. We're making Geeky sick. like I said, not much. I watched some of the American game, but the Americans put me to sleep against the Brits, so it was, yeah, the silence was deafening. We got a Raiders fan in here. Any other Cowboy fans out there? I thought you were, Wade. Maybe not. But on that note, since we brought up the World Cup, we could use our friend Ash here now. But I think the Brits are gone. But the semifinals are Croatia and Argentina. And let's see. And then Morocco and France. Wow. One game is Tuesday. One game is Wednesday. And oh man, I hope you can make it back later, Wade. I got some stories backed up for chill and fun just in case, or watch the replay later if you can. Because I got a few funny things coming up. But thanks for coming by as long as you've been able to. So, and before I get going too far, thank you for everybody that's here. If you like what you see, follow us over on the Twitch side, like the show, and subscribe on the YouTube side. We appreciate it all very much. We're only 29 from 100 on YouTube and the 24-hour chat I've got planned. So much for the cup coming home, as the Brits say. Yep, it did not. And I think France beat them, actually. That probably added insult to the whole thing, So, yeah. As I said, France showed against England all the resilience, ruthlessness, and mental strength. So, but they get to play Morocco. So, which I don't think Morocco has been this far before. But it is interesting to see that that they are there against the French, and then you got Croatia and Argentina on the other side. So, hey, some new teams there, some new blood. That's not a bad thing sometimes. So. But hey, like I said, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. And if there's something you want to talk about, breaking news or whatever, as long as it's something that interests me that we'll chat about without getting shut down and everything else, we'll do it. Breaking news story. How was your day? I mean, just come in. If hopefully you had a not bad day. I mean, we're here to relax, and if something funny happened, like you found a $20 bill laying in a Waffle House parking lot in the middle of the night, that's a good story. Excuse me. But hey, that's what we're here for some laid back chatting tonight. So, and of course, anytime you trash I can't believe you still said that. Yeah, geeky. That comment still gets me too. But hey. All right. Well, we talked about the World Cup thanks to Wade. And I've said I'll talk about almost any sport. But hey, one thing worse than soccer is World Cup. I mean, it's NASCAR. Circle, left turn, left turn, left turn, left turn, wreck. Left turn. Yeah, how that goes. So, let's see what geeky got. I got a Christmas vacation cup at the grocery store. Super jazzed about, and I'm making burritos. Ooh, wow. That sounds fun tonight. Sounds like a cool thing that you picked up, and, definitely sounds like a good dinner. We had a potato soup tonight that was not anything I'd ever seen before. The missus took vegetables and put them together, and he and put them with the potatoes that we got, and didn't make it like a creamy, like white cream potato soup, but made it more of a brothy soup, almost like a vegetable soup in a way. It was really, really good. So, like this. Oh, damn, he turned right. Yeah, NASCAR right turn is not a good thing. So, and yes, it was yum. I can't wait to hear about those burritos later. So, that should be interesting. So, well, we started off talking about the World Cup. So there's one story that I want to touch on a little bit that is sports related, and I will touch about it later this week in the college football special. Has to do with the University of Florida. Entering the bowl game against the Oregon State Beavers in the Las Vegas Bowl, which I've got my two favorite teams fighting it out this year. which will be a 6-6 Gator team, barely limping into a bowl against an up and coming 9-3 Oregon State team. Should be a very one-sided affair, I believe. But especially when you look at what's happened in the Gator program, first of all, and I don't want to go into specifics, and we'd leave it out of the chat, but let's just say it started bad last week with a serious situation. Everything's alleged, but there's investigations. But the Gators lost their backup quarterback, who was arrested and is now no longer with the team. That was the first story. And then all of a sudden, on the 5th, about several days later, comes word that Anthony Richardson, the Gators starting quarterback, guy that I've been on a lot because some games he's been really, really great, some games he's really, really bad, decided to go into the NFL draft. Shocking, but good for him. Do it when you think you need to. I tend to think it probably was the best time, considering they've got Mel Kiper has him listed as the 4th best quarterback. I have my opinions, but good for him, good chance, and hopefully he'll have a good NFL career at whatever he does. But it was a bit of a surprise as a Gator fan, considering the inconsistency that we saw this year. Completed about 54% of the passes for about 2,600 yards, 17 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Not a typical Gator quarterback type of ratio for completions, touchdowns, and the touchdowns to interceptions. Barely not even 2-1 there. So he did a lot of good things, made a lot of good plays this year, but then also had a lot of inconsistency. So what was interesting for the Gators is that they have a transfer from Ohio State, Jack Miller, who had missed all season, had surgery in the summer, has not played in a game all year. The word is that I've seen is that he will be the starter in the bowl game because the Gators now have no quarterback that's thrown a pass in this season on the roster, because Richardson will sit out the bowl game. Which people do to avoid injuries and stuff. So we'll see what happens with Jack Miller as a starter. Personally, I love it. I think it's good news. I've been wanting to see him play. It sounds like he's healthy finally, and it'll be interesting to see for next year what he might be able to provide to the Gator offense. Maybe some consistency. Who knows? I do feel for the walk-on, because rumor was a walk-on Kyle Engel could have been the starter for the ball game, and I feel sorry for somebody like that. You get a chance to possibly get to start a college game for the first time in your life, and then a scholarship guy gets ahead of you. Because I tell you what, historically, walk-on quarterbacks are not that, can be a surprise to you. Everybody hates it. Everybody's like, oh, well, you got no quarterback with a walk-on. But that's not true. The Gators back in 1983 had a guy from a little old town, Mayo, Florida, named Kerwin Bell. The Gators had starter quarterbacks, had one coming in the season and who got hurt, blew out his knee a week before the season started. And they started against the Miami Hurricanes back when Florida really had a good schedule when they started with Miami every year. I'll pick on Florida for ditching Miami. But we as Gator fans were freaked out, like, oh gosh, this season's over, we're done, and all this stuff. And Bell comes in, plays a very good game he was going head to head with Bernie Kosar, and it was a back and forth game till the very end. And Miami pulled out the win at the very end. And then the Gators actually had a decent season, that year. So sometimes all the walk-on quarterbacks need is a chance. So that is my thing on the Florida quarterbacking situation. We'll definitely talk more about it in Oregon State on Thursday night with our football special. But walk-ons are not always bad. Sometimes they just need a chance. So hashtag walk-on careers matter. So we still got 4 watching us. So, hey, let's go. If anybody, like I said, if anybody wants to throw anything in the chat, if you got any other comments, things that we will talk about, would be, we'll see what we can do. Have some fun tonight for at least probably about another 40 minutes, hopefully. Also, the Gators had an offensive lineman who came with Billy Napier from Louisiana that's going to go into the draft too. So that's one of the problems about college bowl games, and maybe I'll talk about that a little bit more on Thursday. Is when the players start opting out of the game, and how does it affect the bowl games? What kind of quality do you get? So it's probably going to be a bad game for the Gators. They can't stop running teams, and the Beavers love to run the ball. So, yeah. Hey, I like Totally Random. I love cereal. LOL. Hey, that's good. What kind of favorite cereals do you have? I mean, what do y'all like? Whoever's out there. I mean, I like I like a wide variety. I like the sugar frosted shredded wheats to the Fruit Loops to the Apple Jacks are really good. Apple Jacks are probably my favorite. The frosted, you can't beat Frosted Flakes either, especially when you get them nice and soggy. But I think Apple Jacks is probably one of my favorite cereals. Then the other question is, do you put a little bit of milk in and have a crunchy cereal, or do you fill it up with milk and do you make it soggy? Oh man, the questions. How in depth can you get into the style of eating cereal? So, Honey Nut Cheerios, I could eat geeky. I could eat a whole box in one sitting. I'm eating some as I'm cooking. Hey, there you go. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, half the time the missus looks at me like, "Are you crazy?" Because she sees how much milk I put in there, and it's like, what are you doing? But then here's Mrs. comes in. Milk first, then cereal. Not too much. Hate soggy cereal. I love soggy cereal. The soggier the better. But yes, everybody's got a different style and stuff, and that's awesome. So hey, we talked about cereal tonight too. We talked about football. Well, we got the holidays coming up, don't we? And there's an interesting story that I came across for something a little bit different. I mean, and like I said, I'm going to bring up a few other things, but feel free, throw stuff out there. If there's a random topic that could be relevant, we could talk about. It's like the cereal. Oh, wait a second. And then a little bit more. Then, I missed that. Geeky said a little bit of milk. So it's you probably like Mrs. Geeky. I pour cereal first, then milk. Oh wow, you do what the Mrs. does. And then of course the Mrs. says, if I want soggy cereal, I would eat oatmeal. LOL. Yeah, but you'd have to add a ton of sugar to oatmeal. But hey, that's awesome. So two people pour the. Wait, I misread it. I'm sorry, Geeky. You pour cereal first, then milk. The Mrs. does milk first, then cereal. I am a pour cereal first, then drink, then pour the milk. So, yeah, exactly. Yep, I know. I thank you for the reminder. Oatmeal with a little milk and brown sugar. Okay, yes, the brown sugar definitely would help the oatmeal. I remember when I was getting it at McDonald's, they put brown sugar in it a lot to make it palatable for me. But hey, we got the holidays coming up, right? And we're going to have a special on Wednesday night that I'm going to talk about a little bit later surrounding that. But, one of the weirdest, strangest food items that's ever been mentioned in a Christmas Carol is what? If y'all want to take a guess, I know you have to know this, and it's not fruitcake. But I'll give you a couple seconds to try to guess what is that one food item that nobody can figure out what the hell it is that's out there in that one Christmas song. Yes, figgy pudding. Well, I have something for you with that. Let's see if I can pull it up properly. It goes so. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. Is in. Ta-da! Pie that's made with figs. Very close. The figgy pudding. From We Wish You Merry Christmas. We want some figgy pudding. That thing. Well, apparently, Spam has a limited edition figgy pudding this year. And you ask why? Well, and this is an article from NPR. All you want for Christmas is Spam figgy pudding. Yeah, well, it includes additional fig and orange flavors, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, ginger, and allspice. So this could be interesting with this article in terms of why the company explains the makers of the Spam brand wanted to create a limited additional seasonal variety that captures magic, warm flavors, and nostalgia we all crave during the holiday season. And with Spam figgy pudding, the brand did it all in one can. Wow, that is crazy. Is it figgy pudding flavored Spam or figgy pudding in a Spam container? The way it sounds like it's a Spam figgy pudding, because it looks like they've added the ingredients to. What's in classic Spam is the normal ingredients: pork, sugar, water, salt, potato starch, sodium nitrate. Then they add the fig and orange flavors and the other stuff here too. So I believe would be considered a Spam product that was made into figgy pudding. See, it has the look of figgy pudding. No, okay. Oh dear, that's like Mountain Dew coming out with a fruitcake flavor. Yeah, exactly. And this is I figured everybody get a treat out of this one, considering most people like Spam. I know very few people that don't like Spam, but I don't know. This might be one to have to just try just to give it a shot. But it's very interesting, I will say. It would be worth a try. But that's about all I'd say, is it's worth a try. That's probably about it. So obviously I don't think that it was very well received in the chat here. Although, oh, Geeky, you've never had Spam? Oh, wow. Okay. That's cool. I thought everybody had Spam. But, hey, first time for everything. Might have to try that one time. It's really good for breakfast, especially if you don't have bacon or turkey or anything like that. It's kind of good. And the missus says figgy pudding is actually a fig cake. The UK uses pudding to mean dessert, not how we use it in the USA. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Is that kind of like a bread pudding too, where it's more cakey than like pudding is what I think of? And thank you, Mrs., for the input back there, because you know these things better than I do. I had to see figgy pudding and freak out because it's in the Christmas song. But yeah, hey, there you go. Yeah. Well, in this case, the Americans take a cake and make it meat, or meat substitute product, meatish product. I wouldn't call it meat necessarily. But hey, well, there you go. There's one story. There's one story. No, I looked up recipe. It looks like a cake. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Thank you for doing the research back there. I just love the article because I think it was a hoot, a hanny, and all that. Okay. Spam is real pork. Yeah, I remember that too. I was kidding about it being pork, meatish and stuff like that, because that's always a joke for people that don't like Spam. Is it really, really? Thank you. Yes, I know it's a not meat substitute. I made a joke, but thank you for the correction. Got to be accurate. So yeah, Spam is real meat. It's pork with many other things in it. Because I would have said the pork. It's pork, sugar, water, salt, potato starch, and sodium nitrate, which is a preservative. So that's what's in your classic Spam. So I was just having fun with the idea of it as figgy pudding, calling it meatish and stuff like that. So I know you love Spam. I'm not hating on Spam. I will eat it, especially with some breakfast potatoes. So it's good. It's all good. All right. Well, let us do something else. Let us now move to a different story, also from NPR. Let me get the screen ready. And here we go. 2 California bakers create a life-size Han Solo out of bread. Do you see it right there? It looks like Han Solo frozen in carbonite. They call him Pan Solo. The sign says, "Our hero Pan Solo has been trapped in Levinite by the evil Jabba the Hutt." Oh, hey. Pretty interesting that somebody was this crafty to do this out of bread. The Brits have a mince pie, shepherd pie, exactly. And the missus says, one question, why? I guess they had time to do it. That's probably what. That's a geeky. Yeah, that is cool. I think it's really impressive how they were able to do that and to that detail. Pretty good, you know. Although it does kind of wonder myself about, isn't that a waste of bread? Perfectly good bread. But hey, you know, it really looks neat though. Okay. Was it baked like that, or did they take the bread and mold it? Okay, well, let's look into the article a little bit. That the bakery in the San Francisco area dubbed it the 6-foot bread sculpture after the Empire Strikes Back. They spent weeks molding, baking, and assembling the life-size sculpture using wood and 2 types of dough, including a type of yeastless dough with a higher sugar content that will last longer. So it looks like they molded it and assembled it, not baked like that. And they, to your point there, is that they actually baked some and molded it, you know, in pieces. So I could imagine finding an oven that big to cook all that at one time. You know, that's just I don't know. Would you be able to have an oven that big? That's the thing I would be curious about if you did that. Is this? But yeah, that's just look at and then molding that together. The seams are gone. You look at the ridges. Yes, that's what I'm reading from the article. Is that they baked it, molded, assembled it. It was not something that was done all at one time. That had to be put together in pieces. But you know, it's such a big thing. You know, it's no surprise. So, and the amount of sugar, and it's interesting they use different types of dough to do it. And see, here's a picture of the face here coming out. So it's just was interesting. So, and apparently there's a bakery's entry in the downtown scarecrow contest. And this article's a little dated, so basically, whether they won or not, I'm not sure. But it won't be eaten. Eventually, it will be composted. So, anyway, that was an interesting thing that I came across today. Also, so it's let me see if I I F11 the wrong thing. Let me do this because what I'll do is I'll put that article out in the chat if you want to look at it later. There. That's the bake. Yes, thank you for putting the. Oh shoot! Oh, okay. That was me. And I'll put the figgy pudding out too, in case anybody wants to know why. Wants that article. No, here. All right. All right. Well, that's 2 articles. We talked about something holiday, figgy pudding spam. We talked about Pan Solo, the bread, the Star Wars bread. So, I got a couple more stories here, or at least one more here. And if you're in the chat, have any ideas, if there's anything you want to chill and talk about, we can do that. Feel free if something comes to mind to say so. I'm searching for something because I thought I had another story in here, which I can't seem to find. But I have one more story here. But I wanted to give y'all a chance to see if y'all had anything else to say about figgy pudding, Han Solo bread, or anything like that. Because some of these stories are kind of neat. It's I mean, you don't see these type of things all the time. I mean, gosh, yes. Let's talk about that. Don't watch it. That was. It was very little. It was very, very little pentatonics. It was. It was just not. It was. Would you say, Mrs. Maybe 20%, or maybe they got more up to 50%? But you know, it just was one of those things that you look at like it was not what we thought it was when we talked about it. So Geeky hasn't watched that yet. Good to know. Hey, I tell everybody also watch stuff for yourself. You never know. You might be able to find. You might like it. Some people don't like certain things, and but we're kind of in the mode of this. Watch the videos on YouTube and set that special. But yeah, hey, we got 6 people watching us now. We just thank you for here. If you're on the Twitch side, make sure you follow us there, and on the YouTube side, like the video, and sub to the channel. Hopefully you like this stuff. We've already talked about a couple of stories. We talked about some Gator quarterback situations, some football. We've talked about bread made out of into Han Solo, and we've even talked about figgy pudding spam. Yes, there is such a thing. Well, I can bring those back up if anybody has a question about it. But, for now, let us move on after the missus. In all her honesty, yes, mostly bad acting. And that really, I think, probably was the kicker there for it, was the bad acting. There's a reason they're called singers. So, let's see. Oh Holy Night. Who has the best version of Oh Holy Night? I'm not sure. I do not doubt that Celine Dion would be awesome at that song. I've not heard many of the modern singers. See, I live under a rock with music, so it's usually the missus and the kids that listen to most of the music. But I think I don't know. I don't know. Who do you like, Geeky? I'm sorry, you Celine Dion. Yeah, and I know she could jam that song really good. There are others that I think could have done it well, like Whitney Houston probably would have, if she did it, would have been amazing at it. Mariah Carey, beautiful, amazing voices like that. But I'll have to look at it. I'll try to take a look at that song and see if I can find some other people that have done that song. But I usually this time of year like an a cappella group called Straight No Chaser. You can find them there. They formed at Indiana University, and they're college mates, and they do it all a cappella like pentatonic stuff. But I mean, there's like 9 to 11 of them. It's quite crazy how they go. Let's see, Mariah Carey, Josh Groban. Mrs. says Nat King Cole. Oh wow, I'm sure that would be an amazing version to look at. Yes. Oh, Straight No Chaser. Yeah, absolutely. I wish I could play some more of their stuff here because it's copywritten. But yeah, awesome. We came across them years ago at a house that has a big light show, and they played their music, and then we figured out who it was, and I love the way they dance along and choreograph things with the songs. I mean, really talented, really great group, and they do more than just Christmas music. It's really amazing what they do, especially when they all have to move around in different positions. So it's really cool. And Mrs. says that Nat King Cole's voice is just so smooth. Yes, that his voice is very unforgettable. Yes, it is a very smooth voice. Very, very smooth. The movie medley. Yes, I remember Straight No Chaser. Yeah, they have some Star Wars in there and Indiana Jones and all that. I've always been amazed about a cappella groups, though. The fact that they can make the beats, the noise. I mean, that part just amazes me. I try to do it. It sounds like a boom, 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 boom. I just got to quit. It's not my day job. It's not even my hobby. I'm so bad at it. But the fact that people have that kind of ability and that kind of talent is just incredible with that. So, all right. Well, I'll go on to another story while y'all keep talking music, or if there's something else that you want to come up with. And if we have people lurking back there, feel free to join in the chat. Say something if, we'll recognize you, and maybe there'll be a topic we can talk about and go a little bit further. So, and the Miss said beatboxing is so cool. Yeah. But you won't let me do that. You physically restrain me if I try to do that. And that's probably for everybody's good, because I might either break a hip or put somebody's eye out if I start trying to beatboxing. So with that, let us go to another story that I pulled out tonight. And it is this. Malaysian puzzle solver breaks Mr. Potato Head world record. And the fastest time to build Mr. Potato Head, 5.43 seconds. A puzzle, this is from the UPI. A puzzle enthusiast from Malaysia broke Guinness World Record, assembling the toy in 5.43 seconds. Hey, Castle, howdy to you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well, you know me, when the rhythm starts hitting me, I start moving every part of my body. So, if it's not dancing, I'll make it dancing. So, and Geeky Neck just smooth loves the beatboxing. So, yeah, and welcome, Castle. You're just in time, Castle. We've talked about figgy pudding spam, and let me see. We've talked about the figgy pudding spam and a Han Solo in carbonite made out of bread. We got links earlier in the chat. So Pan Solo, thank you. Oh, but on this one, he took the record for fastest time. Requires the applicants to start with a fully disassembled toy, add the feet, arms, face, and hat to the plastic potato. He beat the previous record of 5.69 seconds set by a British teenager. So, and this is from the UPI. He also had, which is interesting. Yeah. Oh, Castle, I've got him still up. I'll at least go by and show you the picture since you're here, just briefly. But yeah, in this case, this guy's won other records. Solve a 4x5 Klotsky puzzle blindfolded, and fastest time to complete a Soma cube blindfolded. Folks, these are competitive people, and this takes me back to the competitive food eaters. The missus and I knew of someone's son who was in the annual hot dog contest. He never finished high up in that, but he was always at those events. He won some small and minor ones, but oh my gosh, they got a crystal eating contest, hot dog eating contest. I mean, you name it, there's a thing for eating as much as fast as you can. How these people are not very, very, very large, but or whatever, but it's like, if anybody has seen the movie Rat Race that came out, the remake, not the Madman World, but the remake a few years ago, it was with Mr. Bean in it, Rowan Atkinson, and John Cleese, had all these modern actors, Whoopi Goldberg and all in it. That reminded me of that, because where John Cleese's character was getting, all these millionaires were betting on everything, like who could throw up first on the plane or who did whatever. That's like these food contests. You name the food, you can do it. So like in this case, you got puzzles and things, you name it, they can, there'll be a contest with it. So, and yes, he was on a Crystal Burger box. I remember that. That was really cool to actually know somebody that was, well, we didn't know him, but we knew of his father, so that's interesting. These competitive contests really is amazing what you can make a contest. Many times we just think of we just think of sports as contests, but gee, man, Eddie's the different things. You get toy contest, obviously food contest. Who knows what? I'm afraid of going any further, trying to speculate on what people could make as a contest. So let me do this real quick since Castle came in the chat, and I've only got probably one more story. Is I want to show him this. This is it, Castle. This is from the NPR. The two California bakers created a life-size Han Solo out of bread, and they called him Pan Solo. Could you imagine somebody trying to eat this in the contest? Oh, man. 11 would bloat you in a hurry. And Mrs. If anyone is willing to compete, it can be a contest. Absolutely. And Giga says, I couldn't be in a food contest. I'd puke. LOL. And they have been known to do that. Absolutely. Exactly. Can you get let me see if this helps any. Actually, let me see if I can. There. Does that help? Can y'all see that a little bit better? Just trying to see if you can see it okay. Try to get you the best possible large for this bread. So, and the sign says, our hero Pan Solo has been trapped in Levanite by the evil Jabba the Hutt. So they must sell coffee too there too. So, but yeah, that's really, really, really an interesting thing there. And the other thing that I was going to show you too, let me do this, is our other story for the night before was figgy pudding, spam figgy pudding. Yep. Bread. But yeah, spam figgy pudding, if you can believe that. It's that big. It's yep. And they say it's the normal pork, normal spam product, but it's had added to it fig and orange flavors, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, ginger, and allspice. So I guess that's how they kind of made it into a quote figgy pudding from the spam. So that is another interesting story we've had tonight. So that's let me see. Get this thing back here. I've lost control. So yeah, there we go. Lost control of StreamYards. So anyway, that's it. That's what we had. Yeah, Castle, that is some very fancy spam. Mrs. Let's try. If we see that, we got to buy a can and try it. Okay, just to say we did it. So, oh man, I wonder if it's at Walmart. We got a friend that works at Walmart that will be. I wonder if they've seen that yet. All right, well, let's go with our last story tonight. Something kind of odd and funny, and I have a segment that I would like to do on future shows, but to work with guests and stuff. But hey, let's look at this story here, if we can, for a minute. Escaped cow runs into Virginia doctor's office. Yep. A pair of Virginia cow catchers responded. Hey, cow catchers, there's a little Fortnite reference tonight. And folks, if you want to talk a little bit about Fortnite this season stuff before we wrap up, we can do that too. I had thrown hockey out there earlier too, but we're here for whatever we can talk about that you want to talk about, and I'll we'll cover it if you want to. But the cow had jumped from the back of a trailer, ran down the road to an area around the physician's office, and said the cattle wrangler said the cow became spooked when they arrived and ran around the building, ultimately crashing through the glass doors and entering the office. So employees ran for cover while they tried to lasso the cow in the office. And one says, you ain't no cowboy if you don't rope a calf out of a doctor's office. So the cow was not injured. So they rescued the cow. If you're familiar with the show World's Dumbest, they all the time have videos of cows and animals running through various businesses. It's really, really kind of insane when you see these things happen, but it can happen. So hey, escape cows. Maybe he wanted a medical exam. Maybe he didn't like his vet and he just wanted to shop around because he was moving doctors. All right. Thank you, Mrs. The spam website said you can get it at Walmart or Amazon. Hey, let's go to Walmart as soon as we're done. If you're up for a ride, let's see if we can. Because just because it's there does not mean it's on the shelf. It could be online or other methods of delivery. I'm skipping for this. Oh wait, here. Love it, Castle. Utterly terrifying. Dad joke time. Ta-da. You came to the right place for dad jokes, Castle. I think that was better than my moving doctor's comment. So, hey, all for that. All right, Geeky said he was late for his appointment. Yeah, exactly. And Geeky wants to talk hockey sometime, but there's nothing to talk about. Both the Ducks and the Predators suck. Yeah. Hey, but I got the New Jersey Devils. We could talk about them. So, and I tell you, I love watching hockey with Mrs. Debian walking. It is such a sight. I wish I could record it one time. I have a lot of fun watching hockey with her. But rim shot. But I can't do it. But this, okay, whatever. You got it. I think we all get the point. I just can't execute it again. That's why I tell you I can't beatbox. I have to leave that to the professionals. So, we even talked World Cup tonight. How about that? We talked more World Cup than we did hockey. That is very, very interesting. And like I said, we can talk Fortnite sometime, other times, other shows. What do you, for y'all that are out there to play Fortnite? I mean, if you want to respond now, feel free. I know we're about to wrap up the next few minutes, but what do you think of the new season? Do you like the changes? Do you like the new island? Do you like the weapons? Are there some weapons better than others? Or what? If you have any thoughts, let's chat about it for a couple minutes. They gosh, I can't believe I'm on a World Cup site. Can you? Yes, I heard about the Fortnite tournament, but I was at work yesterday. I don't know if several of our friends were streaming it, and I didn't get a chance to watch it because I had to be at work taking a class and different things yesterday. So that was unfortunate. So Geeky likes the new season. The locations are pretty, but the weapons are just so. Some of the weapons are better. I like the tactical pistol, believe it or not. And I've gotten good with the bows. I used to hate the bows, but they brought them back last season. And this season, I really like the bows a lot better. I can see why people wanted them back. But, I especially like the explosive bow. But nothing like that primal flame bow, though. So, Castle, yes. I like the new island. Love having the bow. Yes. That bow. Which bow, for y'all that like the bows, what do y'all like about the bow? Which do you like? I don't really like the Shockwave bow but Aang uses it to transport around the island and get away from people. There's the primal flame bow. There's the stink bow, which is actually kind of underrated. It's kind of cool being able to gas cloud everybody and get away with it. And the explosive bows. I actually prefer the explosive bows. But the other day I had a stink bow and actually was helping us in a when we had people pinned down. And Mrs. says same reason I thought PM instead of AM. Same goofball. Geeky was on Liam's stream for 5 hours. He and Ordway Metal got what? Yeah, I heard that they got second place. That was a really good effort for them. Really, really good effort, and happy for them that they were able to do so well. Fire and explosives. Those are the only two for me. I agree with you, Castle. Those are my preferences. But I would, if you don't have those, I would take a stink bow in a pinch if you have to. I mean, the shockwaves really don't do much except bounce you from place to place. But the The stink bows can do damage, especially if you got people cornered, and if you have somebody else with fire or explosives. So, or if it's the only thing you could get together. Yes, definitely goofballs stick together. And the missus likes the island. The bow, like bows, don't really like the stink bow. Still figuring out the guns. Yeah, like I said, for me, the tactical pistol, I always love the DMR, and the flame bow is probably my favorite bow of all of them. But in terms of the island, I like the island with the changes now that, but at first, before I ungrade areas and got names, I was having trouble running into rocks and the hills. It's very rocky. Um, it looks like a map that is better if you can build. You can get up and over some things. I know driving in some spots is very difficult because of really the cliffs. It's more than the rocks, just the hills, the cliffs. Getting around them can be difficult if you don't know the terrain yet. Castle said he took a random shot with the explosive bow in the building, ended up getting killed. Exactly. Yep. Explosive bow. And I say that you could do the same thing with the stink bow too, with the gas cloud it leaves. So, although I don't think it will have as much damage as the explosive bow, because there are multiple explosives going off of that one. But like I said, if you don't have an explosive bow or a flame bow, the stink bow is a decent option. So, and then Geeky, yeah, we know you just like blowing shit up. So, and that's cool. And running over and destroying everything, that's cool. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes with grenades, you just throw them. That's what you do. So, and sometimes you get lucky with just panic grenade throwing. And then, yes, Castle, grenades go boom. The hammer is fun, but I really just like traveling with it. Yes. I know that I think some people have had a problem with the hammer, that it seems too jacked up, especially if you get balloons and can not take fall damage. I know that there's been a lot of some debate about that. I'm not a fan of the hammer because I do think I've noticed players, especially at the end, really take over with that thing if they're good at it. But if you got a gun, you're kind of like at a disadvantage. But it's like Aang said many years ago, get good. So, and yes, Geeky, I was there for that. The 2 kills Friday. Yep, you did good on that one. And everything's comes down to tactics too. Like you said, flame bows at the end of the match. Yep, you can get them out of their hole ups. Burn bushes, burn buildings, get them on the run, and hopefully hit a gut shot. So, oh boy, the balloon argument. The missus loves it. Yeah, the missus spent a whole match the other night just kind of floating up in the air, just above us, and it was like almost came out with a victory. If the circle had been a lot shorter, they might not have been able to shoot her as quickly. But anyway, yeah. And then Castle, the hammer, it's a love-hate for me. Yeah, I like it because it gets the challenge done, but I don't really like the hammer itself, because I think, to me, the game is about guns and the bows and stuff like that, not a hammer thing like that. I just don't like that in this game. But it's everybody has their preferences, and that's the thing and that's what's kind of good when they do change things up, change it around, and gives people new experiences to things. If not, the game could get really, really boring, really, really stagnant, and that doesn't make things fun. And the new changes and things like that, even if they annoy us at times, that could be, that makes the game better. Let's see, Geeky says, still learning which guns I like. If I could get kills with grenades, I'd be Golden Pony Boy. Why did I read Playboy at that first one? But anyway, Pony Boy. I'd be Golden Pony Boy. Okay. I don't know. I got to learn how to read better. My glasses need to be clean. But anyway. But yeah, you got to keep using guns and experiment with them and change them up and do things with it. And that's how you get better. The one thing that I have not liked, I've said several things I don't like, but the weekly challenges, this week, there were some that went in 5 stages. I'm not a fan of that because some people can't play all the time to do their weeklies that many times. Case in point, the dirt bike was not so bad with the 5 stages because you could get on it and just run it, play and play and play and play, just on the dirt bikes. And you could get the 5 decently easy. But the hammer challenge, I don't even know if the missus has finished it yet, but working hard, I mean, you almost had to do nothing but use the hammers to try to get the 5th level done, which was 200 bounces. So, that seemed to be one thing that I thought was a little bit pushing it too far, is when they start making challenges that the average player can't get done reasonably, and especially if they're only out for a week. Some people can't pick up the game every day, and yet they want that XP. They want to level up. They want to do the battle pass. Yeah. Kiki's, don't knock Florida, because we Floridians are pretty awesome. Absolutely, Castle. And motorbike guys on Friday made me laugh. It sounded like a pissed off bumblebee. Yeah, it kind of did. It was kind of cool. Pissed off bumblebee. I never even thought about it like that. But, what about the battle pass? What do you think about the battle pass itself this year? I have not bought the battle pass yet. I probably won't buy the battle pass. I mean, I didn't see enough stuff in it that I wanted, and I'm almost ready to save my V-Bucks for skins and gliders throughout the season. I just was curious to see what people say. Yeah. Now she talks about the pissed off bumblebee, and yeah, yes, you have. And I will say I've met some very nice people from Tennessee too, so it goes both ways. Oh, I love the dirt bike. Yes, I agree, Castle. That dirt bike, it's actually easy to drive. I drive that better than I do the cars. So anyway, hey, Mark D with a C. How are you tonight? I'm going to go back, if the people don't mind, real quick and show one story that I think would be up your alley. Castle Battle Pass is going to take me forever. Yeah, I think so too. I didn't see any characters I liked. There's some of the Boba Tea blings that looked kind of cool, but I'm not sure with them. And then Hondas with the garbage exhaust. Yep. And the pissed off bumblebees. And Mark says Battle Pass is not looking good. You don't like the new format because it's at the bottom of the screen. Can't see the stuff that well. Yeah, I understand. I understand that. And then we got car talk. Yeah, the hot import night, Honda's geeky. Hey, we got Mark in here now. We can really have car talk time then. When you get into Hondas and stuff like that, But real quick, let me go back to this story. Mark, you might be interested in this one. Here before you do it. And Geeky, y'all just check out some of Mark's stuff, because he does. I think you do restorations, don't you, on older cars, Mark? If not, don't worry. I tend to over embellish people's resumes. That happens a lot. So, but Geeky and Castle both like the classic cars. So, all right, with this, Mark, hope you like this one. The good old classic Christmas song, "We Wish You Merry Christmas," and what does it have? Figgy pudding. Guess what we have? Figgy pudding Spam. That is available at Walmart, at least, from what we understand. It's really interesting, where they take the classic Spam, which is pork, sugar, water, salt, potato starch, and sodium nitrate. They've added fig and orange flavors, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, ginger, and allspice. And Mark, since you are the resident food guy, I had to see what you thought about this one, especially with all those kind of flavors in there too. So, but we got that one, and we also had Pan Solo, where bakers made it out of bread. They made a Han Solo and carbonite out of bread. Yes, Mark, is that worse than getting your coal in your stocking? I don't know. We might go try to find some and see if we can taste it. So we will see what happens with that. hopefully soon we can find that out. So, and it's kind of cool, all y'all coming together here. Maybe, maybe we can do something about classic cars one show. I don't know much about it. I could moderate and let all you classic car people have fun talking. So, yeah. Wait, I missed that the first time. What? Come on. Driving in Fortnite does not equate to driving in real life, Mark. I would take that 67 Mustang and treat it very, very nicely. It would not be mistreated. So, and Geeky's got a 64 and a half Sherry red Mustang as a dream car. So, yeah. Oh, so Mark, Mark comes through with a classic car. You're his best friend now. Okay, I see it, Geeky. That's awesome. And Mark comes up. So, excuse me. Castle said he wouldn't eat that spam if I was starving. Well, I will tell you, I hope that we can find a can tonight. And if we do, maybe I'll have to somehow video it in a way to get a reaction, because it looks good. And I do dares. I mean, don't dare me to do something. I'll do it. I mean, one person once dared me to order pizza to a college class, and we did that. Me and a friend did that. We were also very nervous, thinking the professor was going to kick us out of class too, but he just told us don't ever do it again. So, and I like that solo. Just add butter. Absolutely. Need plenty of butter. Yeah. Okay. Just no off-roading with a cow catcher. Oh, Mark, a 67 Mustang like that does not go off-roading. That thing is treated like a princess and treated very, very nicely. So, yeah. And Castle, that is what a lot of people do. I know somebody else. I know Geeky loved that. Just give them a cow catcher, throw them in, and let them run over everything and blow it all up. That's a great thing with the game itself, is you can take out your frustrations in a video game. What would normally get you thrown in jail. And we've got 9 people watching. Thank you all that are here. We've actually grown as we get later in the show. And thank you all for being here. Remember on the Twitch side to follow and leave a like and a sub on the YouTube side. And, about 29 away from the 100 sub mark for the 24-hour stream. And Geeky says, I used to play Forza Motorsport all the time and got my driving rage out. Then I need a new Xbox. Oh, gosh. Man, everybody Geeky needs a new Xbox, so Forza's amazing for that. Yeah. Yeah, get your rage out. And eradicate driving and explosive. That's my bag. Yep, absolutely. Is that erratic driving or eradicate driving? Because eradicate driving is pretty cool too when you take out the opponents. So that's always a good thing. Let's see. And just recapping a little bit of the show, we talked about the Gator football quarterback situation a bit. We'll have a new starter on Thursday. So let's see. Well, let me come back to that one. We talked about figgy pudding spam. We'll see what that's like. We talked about a Han Solo and carbonite made out of bread called Pan Solo. We talked about the World Cup a little bit. We talked about the finalists, Croatia and Argentina, and Morocco and France. Actually, you know what? And I just thought about it. It's kind of interesting, Morocco and France, because France, especially back in World War II, had a lot of presence down in Morocco. So it was really, really, really interesting. So, what are you doing about behaving again? It was the first one. Erratic driving. Okay, my keyboard is misbehaving again. Okay, yeah, we're famous. We're very familiar with a lot of people around in keyboard malfunctions. So we talked about a Malaysian puzzle master that set a world record by putting together a disassembled Mr. Potato Head, a basic one, putting it all together in 5.43 seconds. We talked about the rogue cow that ran into a Virginia doctor's office. So that was quite interesting, I will tell you. So that was, we hit a number of different things tonight. I appreciate everybody that's been here. helping the chat and helping the conversation going, and hope to have more of these. And like I said, come in. We talk more Fortnite. We can do Fortnite counseling. We can do hockey counseling. I'd love to talk some hockey at some point. I know I'm getting ready to wrap up. It's kind of late, but I'd like to share stories of how I got into hockey, things like that, and share some things back and forth. And we, have some good conversations with things that we don't always get to talk about. So as I say that, the first story we started with was with the Gator quarterback situation when they're going into the Las Vegas Bowl playing against one of my other. Okay, let me go here. One last question. What's the best gaming system? I don't know. I've only played with one system at a time. I've played with various Nintendo systems over the years. Right now I'm on a PS4 and Switch. A lot of people prefer the PC playing, I don't know how Castle plays Fortnite. I know Mark is PC, Mrs. is PC. But in terms of actual gaming systems, I don't know. I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. As from what I've heard, various people. I know that some people like others. There you go, Mark. All right, Mark, with the tweet of the day, the message of the day. Atari 2600, damn straight. I love that game. Actually, to tease it, since there's a few of y'all here, I did pick up a anniversary edition of Atari games that includes from 2600 and various other models. And once I need to play it a little bit and get used to it. And I think I want to try to stream some of those games. I mean, they'll be solo, but I'd like to try to show them. One of my favorite games on 2600 was the adventure game, which was just basically you go around as a block and you kill a dragon and you find all the gold and the trophies and stuff like that. So, thank you for saying that, Mark. Yes, and I hope to get some of those going soon, if not this week. So, Castle says I'm mostly PC. Got an Xbox One as well. Wait, let's see. Wait, you all have a Switch and we've never played Mario Kart? Right now, Geeky, it's one thing at a time. I finally got the Mario Kart, the Nintendo back. The missus has to get the Mario Kart because she has an old Switch. So we have to make sure we have another version for her. So, and Geeky says mine was a Super NES. Some of the best games I've played. Yep. I remember the Super NES and I loved it. So absolutely. But hey, like I said in there, it really just depends on what you're used to, what you like. I think one thing that happens is when people fall in love with a method, whether it's PC or a certain system, they pretty much stay with those lines. Not that they're all successful, because look at the Wii's. Some of the Wii's did not have success in the next generation. So PS also, I think the PS3 was one that was kind of a bomb. PS4 was great and all, and then PS5 you could not hardly find it. I guess you're starting to find more copies now. So, excuse me. So it really just depends. Excuse me 1 second. All right. Well, if there's any more about that, feel free to talk, throw it out there in the last remaining minutes. But as I was saying about the Gator quarterback situation, they will be going in playing the Las Vegas Bowl against my other favorite team, the Oregon State Beavers, with a quarterback that's not thrown a pass this year. So, the Wii. Yeah, I love the Wii. Yeah. I love the old PSs. We still have them around here somehow. They had PS2, I think, had the best Battlefront ever, but then they changed it all. But like I said, the Beavers, the Gators, I'm actually interested in seeing the Gators' new quarterback transfer from the Ohio State University. Will be interesting to see how he does. A backup is a walk-on, so who knows what will happen with that. Some bad situation with that, whole drama down there at the University of Florida. But with that being said, on Thursday night, I'm going to do a College Bowl special starting at 8 p.m. on Thursday. We got 41 games to go through. 41 bowl games. I'm going to hit all of them somehow. I'm going to try to predict the winner on every one of them, see where we go with it. There'll be a few games that I'll spotlight. Obviously, I'm going to spotlight Florida, Oregon State. Tennessee, Clemson is a game I've got to spotlight because the matchup is just like is really a playoff level matchup, especially with Clemson with a new quarterback. But we'll talk about some of the games, on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. All right. And I don't have graphics ready for it yet, but Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, we're planning on having a Christmas special with me and with Squeaker Mouse, who loves Christmas. So that is something we're working on for Wednesday for some holiday cheer. I hope you can join us on Wednesday night at 8. It should be fun. It should be a blast. Knowing Squeaker, it will be high energy and very entertaining, especially talking all things Christmas. Looking forward to it. Will be exciting. By the way, I forgot to add my bowl special here. So I'm slipping on my job here. I don't want that. So we'll do this. How about this? There we go. There we go. Yes, exactly. And so I'm looking forward to it. And then we'll talk more about Milton and quarterback and stuff on Thursday night. But join me Wednesday night for something special. It's something definitely different. If you have friends, tell them about it. And, it won't be football. It'll be something completely different too. Then we will also have a college playoff special, which will happen December 29th, Thursday, also at 8 o'clock, where we will talk about the Peach Bowl, which is the Chick-fil-A Bowl, which will be Georgia and the Ohio State University. And we'll be talking about the Fiesta Bowl, which will pit Michigan Wolverines and the TCU Horned Frogs. So we will look at those there. Hope to have a special guest that night, for that show. So that's what's coming up. Some Fortnite streams will happen as they come along. And like I said, hopefully to get the Atari kind of would be a short stream, but, something different to show you. So, of course, you can find me everywhere at Dadman Walking 55 on YouTube, at Dadman Walking 55, twitch.tv, Dadman Walking 55, and, of course, on Twitter, Dadman Walking 55. We make it easy for you to find us in one location. Of course, like I said, follow on the Twitch side, subscribe, like the videos on the YouTube side, comment it out, share it out, help us get more people in, and let's reach 100 and see a 24-hour stream coming up. So let me say goodbye to everybody that's here. At the risk of missing, I know Wade was here earlier. Castle, thank you for coming in. Mark, thank you for coming in too. Mrs., always great to have you here. Geeky, thank you for being here. It's been a fun show. I didn't know what to expect, but y'all have made it a blast, and I appreciate it. And then we can have some fun with stuff like this. It's really, really, really cool. So I guess on that note, we will say good night. See you next time, and we'll see what goes on, and I'll keep you in updated on what's next, and just check us out on Twitter. So, all right, have a good night, everybody. Bye.